Greg, and I just wanted to talk with you a little bit more about databases. I, shared a previous video with you about the importance of the database and building databases. And hopefully you've been collecting those emails, and hopefully you've, we've had plenty of conversations and help you get a better understanding of the concept. And, I promise you that, in the future you're going to see that this is going to pay huge dividends. I mean, right now, I can honestly attribute approximately 300 transactions per year out of the agents in our office, approximately 300 transactions per year closed to the business that we're generating from these databases. These are people that we've talked to, a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe 6 months ago. We've nurtured them like I've explained to you, and then they've come back because they're advocates. They've come back to us and said, hey, we want to do business with you. Or what's even better is they've said, hey, look, we're not interested in doing anything right now, but I have a friend that needs to do something, and I want you to take care of them. So today we're going to talk about the type of databases you need to have. And I could start off by saying this. I don't want to overwhelm you on this quick little video, but I have approximately 60 different databases, if not 70 different databases. But there are 4 databases that every real estate agent needs to start off with. And I want to go through these real quickly, maybe give you a little brief explanation, and then we'll just move forward through our training program. But the first database that you have to focus on is the number one database is, I'm going to call it SLD. You're going to hear the term SLD all the time in our office, and what that means is Seller Lead Database. So let me give you an example of who would go into a seller lead database. Anybody who owns a piece of property. I don't care if it's a piece of dirt, if it's a mobile home, if it's a condo, if it's a home, if it's a hotel, whatever it is, if they are the legal owners of a piece of property in this area, they need to go into your seller lead database. The reason is we're going to communicate to them over time as if they are an owner of property, which they are. So that we're going to be delivering information and educating them on what is happening in the local market, in the real estate market, and even maybe in the national economy that could have an impact on property owners. So because they're a property owner, we're going to put them into a seller lead database. Now, I said seller lead. That doesn't mean that they have to tell you, oh yes, we're thinking of selling before you put it into that database. All you have to know is that they own. Because in the future, they are going to sell. It might be 5 years from now. It might be 7 years from now. Who knows? It might be next month. We never know when they may be selling. So we need to have them in the proper database, communicating with, delivering the proper content, and we will just be there when they are ready. Or, because we're speaking to them like an owner, they will have a listening for friends and family members that they know that are thinking of selling and may recommend us. So number 1 is SLD, Seller Lead Database. Number 2, BLD, Buyer Lead Database. Wow, you could almost put the whole world in that because everybody could be a potential buyer, but that's not what I'm referring to. In this particular case, I'm talking about anybody who has mentioned the possibility of buying real estate in this area. Now, where you're going to generate a lot of these leads is through the internet. Our internet websites are really powerful, I'm sure you know that, and we're going to be delivering emails to you that you're going to follow up with these people, and they're going to say, a big portion of them will say, well, we were just kind of exploring and just trying to learn the area. We're really not interested in buying right now, and they're probably serious. So what do you do with that email address? You put them in your BLD. What's going to happen is then I'm going to send out, or we're going to send out, nurture that database with content and with information and educational pieces about the value of buying in Myrtle Beach. You see, there's a time where if I'm communicating with you about why you should buy, then that information may not be good for an owner who's not thinking about buying. So we want to separate the 2 databases, Seller Lead Database, Buyer Lead Database. We don't need to send the seller leads updates on the hottest new foreclosure that's on the market that they should buy. They're not interested. They're not in the market. But for a buyer, they would be interested. So we're going to separate SLD and BLD. Number 3, and this is a very important database, and you're going to learn it. You're going to get a tremendous amount of business from this database, and we call this one a COI. Seems like we have a lot of acronyms here. COI, and that is going to be Centers of Influence. This is where you put all of your family members. Yes, put your dad, put your mom, put your brother in your database. You see, we're going to deliver valuable content that's educational. And anybody who reads the information is going to see you as an authority. And you know what? Your brother, your sister, your cousin, they know you. You've been in family reunions and parties and birthday parties and anniversary parties and all these things you've done together. And they see you as this person that they just grew up with. Sometimes they don't remember, or they don't see you as this business professional that you really are. So I'm not wanting to take your family and make it all business, but what we are wanting to do is we're wanting to demonstrate the true professionalism that you are as a real estate professional or real estate agent. We want to demonstrate how you are becoming really good at what you're doing. And we do that by delivering valuable content to them and even educating them. You see, we know your cousin's going to call you up and they're going to want to list with you or they're going to want to buy through you. But what we see so often is that the cousin forgets to tell their friend to go hire you. In other words, they forget to send you a referral. And what we want to do is we want to be at the top of their mind. We want to make sure they're aware of what we can do, our skills and our capabilities. So anytime they hear somebody whispering the possibility of buying or selling, they think of you and they get their telephone number and they give it to you. So your friends, your family members, maybe people that you've done business with in a past profession, these are all in your centers of influence. By the way, here's a rule of thumb. Your centers of influence, the size of your centers of influence should deliver you a 10% return. I'm going to share with you how this works. If you had 200 people in your centers of influence database and you nurtured them properly, that should be a source of 20 transactions per year. The average real estate agent only sells 3 to 4 transactions per year in this market. Can you imagine if you got 20 transactions just from one database? Think about how big we can make this business for yourself. This can change everything for you financially. The last database that I want to discuss with you is I'm going to call it Business Network. These are people that have not, they may own property, but you don't know. They haven't indicated that they're a buyer. They're not a friend or a family member or a past customer of yours, but they're in the mortgage industry. There's mortgage people out there, mortgage brokers out there that obviously they're dealing with buyers and sellers every day, mostly buyers, but they're in the business. They're talking to the same people that you're talking to. And what we need to do is we need to create a little business network. And so you find those mortgage brokers, you get their email addresses, you send them the same updates that you're sending other people. And what you're doing is you're demonstrating your skills. You're demonstrating your professionalism. You won't believe how many times you'll send something out to, say, a mortgage broker, a banker, an appraiser, a home inspector, an attorney, a contractor, somebody, a handyman, a landscaping company. You will be amazed at how many times you'll send that information to them, and then they'll turn around and send it to somebody else they know who's thinking about doing a real estate transaction. You see, a mortgage broker, right now they're talking to 10, 20, 30 people who are thinking about buying, but they're not calling you. You know why they're not calling you? Because you haven't provided value in their eyes. We're going to change that, and from this point forward, you're going to collect emails of any vendor, anybody associated with the real estate business that's not a realtor. You want to put them in your business network database. So let me recap. You've got a seller lead database, SLD. You've got a buyer lead database, BLD. You've got your centers of influence database, and you've got your business network database. Now, I'm going to warn you. In the future, you're going to end up with 30, 40, 50 different databases. But right now, we're just beginning. We're just kicking off, our 90-day jumpstart your production, plan, this training. So we just want to take baby steps. We just need to go ahead and get these databases developed, start getting these emails, push emails into these databases, and then let us do our job. So I'm excited. You just keep pushing. I understand that, we're asking you to learn a lot of things right now in a short period of time. But as you know, we are committed 100% to developing you as a real estate professional. And I am hoping that you're the next top agent in this Myrtle Beach market. Talk to you soon.